Guys, I've seen the question a few times. What's the difference between the trucks? Executioner, which is my first one, Carbon X, second one, and Trail X. This is my RTR. These are two RTR Trail X's ready to ship out tomorrow, number 21 and 22. So if you happen to get these numbers, these are your trucks, by the way. So, but anyway, I'm going to get those off the table and show you the differences between these three right here because there's kind of everything except for the axles. Let's go. We're going to start with the chassis design and the skid and all that. To me, the skid is the whole underside is the most important part of a crawler, especially a competition crawler. Why? Because if you get hung up on rocks, you're going to lose. It's that simple. If the body's off, you can also tell there's a huge difference. Like Executioner, it is kind of forward skid, but not really slam skid as I call it. Carbon X, it is more of a slam skid. There are trucks out there with even more. But the thing about it is you get really, really short on the drive shaft, the links. It really makes the handling a little odd. So I think I've got a good balance right here between the two. Out of the two of these trucks right here, I will tell you the Executioner drives the smoothest out of these two. Out of all three of these, the Trail X drives the smoothest because it has the better balance of links front and back. There is a forward to it. It's not a crazy amount, but there is some forward to it, and that makes a difference in the overall driving. It's the arcs and leverages that go into your suspension. That makes a big deal. Chassis of the Executioner is a low, transitional, smooth chassis with a very unique skid. This skid came from me getting hung up on all the greater blade skids out there, and I'm like, I got to do something with it. So I came up with that right there. That is a big deal in my opinion. Carbon X also has a little bit of that. Not quite as much because, well, you got the short links up there, but I did come up with slip skid technology. And as you can see from that piece right there, it gets used. That allows you to get on a rock, slide onto the skid and off the skid because, well, if you get hung up on a rock, like I mentioned earlier, you lose. Trail X. This has some slip skids technology when the ramping and all that, but it's kind of sort of like a greater blade a little bit. But as a trail truck with competition tendencies, I will tell you this from what I have seen. There are companies out there, they would build this chassis right here, similar skid, and call it their competition truck. Sorry guys, that's not a competition truck to me. This is competition. This is competition to me. This is a beautifully driving, really rounded trail truck. I pulled some really good lines with it. The chassis is obviously carbon. There is a lot of chassis here. This does come out. The chassis rails are like 14.6. So if you happen to have a class that requires a 14.5 chassis, this does meet that criteria. On every one of these, the rear suspension can actually hit the chassis rails in the back. That's how far up the suspension travels. This one right here is the same. Look at the suspension travel. The rear is just about on the chassis. I could actually adjust it more. The front, look at how much compression the front has in it. That's a big deal. Also notice how much shock adjustment is on this thing. It's a massive amount of shock adjustment. So you get this truck, you don't like the shocks, well guess what? You can pretty much fit anything you want on here. I mean, you can probably even do 100 millimeter or 120 millimeter shocks if that's what you really wanted. So, and most of your RTRs, you're very limited to 3 or 4 holes, for adjustment of your shock. As where this right here, man, heck, you got like 30. So there's a lot here. Now, the front of this thing, if you look at how much the front compresses, it comes all the way up past the chassis on the front compression. So having that compression and having that ability to really have the low for extreme climbs, side heeling, and all that is a big deal to me in my designs. So also having everything within the chassis, as you'll notice here. Carbon X, it's inside the chassis. My very first one, Executioner, inside the chassis. Trail X, inside the chassis. I've been messed up many, many times on sliders sticking out. You'll go trying to squeeze through a spot, the sliders will just catch the sides and you're done. You've lost. So this is why I do chassis sliders on the Trail X right here. These right here, though, these have them built in. The chassis sliders are built in part of the skids on that one and EXOCUTiONER. So and they're built in on those. These are a separate piece that all bolts in, and those same bolts hold your links and everything in place. So all that is there. I've got a little wire loom I put in the front of this thing right here to hold your wires up. They can fit a 2200 milliamp battery. The transmission has an 18% overdrive to it. So we're good to go there. I put the drag skid on the back. Let me show you a brand new one. As you can see, there's a big difference here. This one has obviously been beat up, been used, abused. I have done just about everything you could possibly imagine with this truck. It's the number 00. It doesn't have the numbers on it yet, but I'm going to make some 00s as it's like that is the OG. Now, obviously, brand new, no scratches. That will be for the owner of number 22. You will get this one and you will be able to scratch it. On these axles, if you grind away, there is a little tab on this one right here. I'm not grinding these away, by the way. That's something for the owner to do. There's a stop right up into here, and that does limit the steering, but still, you can get a pretty good bit out of this thing, but there's more to be had. So anyway, those are the major differences between the three different trucks, and then the fact that this one comes RTR. Now, I can do RTR EXOCUTiONER. I can do RTR Carbon X, but you're looking at $1,500. With transmitter, with usually like a Fusion or a Furatech 2-in-1. When I do a Furatech 2-in-1, I use a direct power servo, and I gear it correctly. And I've not had a bit of issue out of them. So when I did a normal plug-and-play servo, yeah, I did have a little bit of brownout, but I fixed that with direct power or an external BEC. And it should be pretty obvious to people that there's not a lot of room in there for a big, massive BEC. But it kind of gets past some people. They just think that it's supposed to be flawless. But nothing's perfect, guys. Nothing. Now, speaking of perfect, on these trucks right here, they are not waterproof. Nothing is waterproof. Even the epoxy and the ESC will turn colors from contamination. The receiver is not waterproof. Now, the servo, motor, all that, they have your factory waterproof warranties or whatever they have on those. But no, water gets into everything. It'll get into your axles. It'll get into everything and tear everything up. Just if you got to do water, you should understand that you got a lot of maintenance ahead of you. One big thing to look at between these trucks is the breakover. The best breakover that I've got is on the Carbon X because the skid is so far forward. You have all that room, all that clearance, everything like that. Carbon X is super easy to get like 65-35 balance on it. I mean, it's crazy easy. And this has the Fusion Elite in it. This one still has the old Fusion Pro, in which I kind of want to change that out for an Elite, but the darn thing runs so good. But this right here does have some forward skid to it, but it's not as extreme as the Carbon X. Now, as far as breakover and all that, the Trail X is probably the worst one due to how it is set up. And it's just what you get with long links. So that's just kind of what you get with that. Tires, I mean, this right here does come with upgrade RC razor wire tires, carbon beadlock wheels, all that. If you were to get one of these two as a RTR, then it's a little bit different story. You got your choice of tires, inserts, brass, shocks, or the deluxe shocks on these. I've tried a lot of different shocks, and man, I really like the deluxe shocks. That's why you see them all the time. The budget for this did not allow for deluxe shocks, though. Just got to be honest with you. It just did not allow for that. And then to have this truck be under $1,000. You could easily bring this truck over $1,000. You can do that with any of them. But one thing about the Trail X, and I want to mention this, is that I noticed a lot of guys, they'll take a TRX4, which is a great trail truck, by the way, brutally strong, but they put those big, stupid wideners on it. I got to have it wide because it side hills so good. Yeah, but you completely ruined your steering geometry and leverages against all your bearings and all that stuff. So with these right here, these are the cheat code axles, and they are wider. They are almost as wide as a Capra. So with this one, you're starting out wide. It can be narrowed up with different hubs. These are cut and shut skinnies, by the way, but they can be narrowed up and comped very easily. But anyway, guys, hopefully that was enough to clear up a few of the things about the questions about the different trucks and all that. And hopefully you're still watching, because if you are, you know, I've got stuff ordered, or I'm actually ordering it tomorrow. Today, you're seeing this video. Enough to do 40 of these trucks. So hopefully I can get all that stuff in, and I've got some help that is helping me assemble these. We are going to be doing, there's only a couple more that I can do, and then we're out, like possibly for 2 weeks. But then we're going to pre-assemble chassis, rails, body mounts, all that stuff. Basically have it ready to go for when the axles get here, when the links get here, which I've got links that we can assemble quite a few of them. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Check that description. I'll link up the Trail X, Carbon X, EXOCUTIONER, all that down below. Use those links, hit that subscribe, ring that bell. And once again, I want to tell you guys personally, thank you. I would not be here without you. The way things have worked out with printers and design, I can actually do what I imagine now, which is amazing. You guys have a great day. If you're still watching, you are top shelf. You are the cream of the crop, the pick of the litter. You are phenomenal. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. Now, down below, there are links for the products you see. Also for channel memberships, if you guys want to be a part. Channel members get early viewing on pretty much everything that I can. So, guys, check that description. There's a lot of info down there. Thank you all for watching.